Hey everybody. Hey, today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different, a little bit different environment, I guess. I'm in my old work truck here. We're driving up to Quincy, Illinois to get some feed for our goats. So I'm actually driving down the interstate right now, so I'm not gonna be looking at the camera a whole lot, but I thought what a great time to talk about feed. So hopefully you can hear me all right. There's not a whole lot of background noise, but so feed. Like, how much do you feed them? What do you feed them? Why do you feed them? All that kind of stuff. Here's what we do. I'm just gonna like talk off the hoof, right? So I'm not. This hasn't been planned or. I don't have stuff written down, so I'm going to try to go off my memory, which is not good. So bear with me on that. But here we go. Try to stay on the road here. All right. So what do we feed our goats? We're feeding an 18% protein feed from ADM. And the reason why we have chosen that feed, one is ADM is the closest I don't know, what do you call it? Mine's drawing a blank. Feed mill that is near us. And it's still like 4.5 hours away, so it's still a good bit, but we can buy it straight from the factory. Maybe a little bit cheaper than from the store, which I like to support local feed companies, but there's no local feed companies where we're at, so it just is what it is. That's what we're doing. So we buy it by the pallet, we buy it by the ton, and that's what we're gonna go do. We're only gonna get one pallet this time. So we feed the 18% protein ADM pellet feed, and we are currently feeding at probably a lower rate or percentage than what others feed, but we complement the feed with a real high quality hay. So our goats are keeping their condition. I could probably grain them a little bit more than I do, but honestly I want to be at the point. So we are a commercial operation. That's what we raise our goats for, is to sell them at the market. And if we don't sell them at the market, we sell them off the farm. But what we're trying to do is keep our costs as low as possible so that our profits are high. So the more that we grain our goats, the more money we're putting into our kids, the less money we're getting out. But with that, the more grain you put into them, the better they grow out. So there's really like a dance there that you have to do, of graining your kids, letting them grow out quickly and be fat little kids, but also not do it so much that once you get ready to sell them, you don't have any profit left in your goat. So we've got about 20 head of goats, grown mature goats. We've got 4 or 5 kids right now. If they don't have kids, they are pregnant except for one, and then the 2 bucks. So they're all needing high quality feed right now and a lot of protein intake. So we are feeding, what did I figure? I think I want to say it was like 7 quarts or 8 quarts, maybe 6 quarts or something that we were feeding right now, which is basically like a maintenance level. So we're not feeding them to fatten them. And honestly, one could argue, and maybe many could argue, that with them being pregnant or with them with kids on them, nursing the kids, that we could definitely be feeding them more grain. My argument to that, it's not even really an argument because I agree with you, I could, but I'm gonna watch my does, and if my does are losing condition, I'm checking for worms, and if they're not wormy, I'm upping their grade. Currently, my does are not losing their condition, and so I'm happy with what I'm feeding them. Could their milk production go up if I fed them more? Yeah, maybe not, I don't know. I am feeding a real high quality orchard alfalfa hay and a real high quality loose mineral that's helping their just in general their health. And so I feel like that the program we have going right now is solid, and I think also, with anybody that's got goats, I think that there's always adjustments being made, so like I'm getting really close to my face here. My hand's getting tired. Your goat herd, your goats grow, like physically grow, your mature does, or as they, go from having a single kid to maybe, twins or triplets. Like, that's just part of being a good goat farmer, practicing good husbandry, that you are caring for your does in the ways that they need it. So keeping a close eye on what their condition is, if they're, and this is a video coming off of, the doe that we just lost in pregnancy toxemia, and the whole reason why that happened is because she was malnourished, so and we talked about it in the last video. That was a goat I had bought just a few, maybe a couple months ago. So I didn't have the history with her. I didn't know, what she was getting fed prior to coming to our farm. I didn't know how much she was getting fed. And because of that, she came into our program, and, due to her being way overweight, having triplets, the picking order of the goats, she, and in a larger group of goats, she wasn't getting as much feed as she was used to, and she suffered with toxemia, which I absolutely hate. But lesson learned. Don't put yourself in that situation. So anyway, nutrition is really, really important, and it's really, really important that you're watching your goats. And I think it's such a huge bonus that if you have the history with your goats. So like if you've had a doe for a year or 2 years or 3 years, like there's a better chance that you're gonna see something quickly when something's wrong with her and be able to correct it or help her. And if you don't have a history with your goats, you're kind of playing with fire, unless you just are very, very, very keen on, what's going on, or like really on top of, what's happening, or taking fecals constantly, or, I don't know. I'm sure there's, different amounts of time that people can put into their farming of the goats. But like for us, it's not a 24/7 thing. And so we didn't catch it in time. Maybe some people could, but anyway, on to the next. So about a pound, I think a pound and a quarter, which per head, which came out to like, I think 7 quarts. I think that math is right. Again, I don't have this written down. I'm going off my memory, which is terrible. So take that. Let's see, the other thing, when do we feed them? All right, so we feed them, I don't know if this is just like a myth. I think some people would say it is, but I don't know, it's kind of worked for us. So I think I would argue that it's not a myth, but our feed time usually lands between 5 p.m. It's really shaky. 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. in the evening. Every day. We feed every day, not every other day. And when I say feed, I'm talking about a pellet feed, not hay. We give free choice hay constantly. except for the summer months. But we feed pellet feed every day between 5 and 7 p.m. Sometimes, it may go a little later if we're running late, but the reason for that, as I've got stuff popping up on my phone here. Okay, the reason for that is supposedly if you feed your goats in the daytime or evening time, they will be more likely to kid in the daytime. I think that's how that goes. Someone can comment and confirm that. Or versus feeding in the morning, they're more likely to kid at night. And I might be exactly the opposite of that. I may have that exactly opposite. I don't really know. All I know is that we feed them in the evening, and our goats tend to kid during the day. So, or like even morning and daylight hours. So we much rather would have them kidding in the daytime than at night, in the middle of the night. So we feed them in the evenings, and that's worked for us. Like I said, that might be exactly opposite of the rule of thumb, but that seems to be what's working for us. So let's see. So ADM feed 18%. I talked to you about approximately how much we feed. We currently don't have a appropriate feeder set up. We're just using PVC pipe that's been split down the down the middle in half. We just kind of throw it out for them. What else? I guess that's probably all I can think of right now. I am getting close to our turnoff, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I'll maybe try to shoot some at the feed store if they would allow me to do that. I don't know. But anyway, stick with us.